to the opening of the Future Feminist Archive live in Wollongong. We have a special treat. Some of you will have heard the fabulous Femme Fatales, and they're going to do a little performance for us right now. So I'd like to ask the Femme Fatales to make their way in. Femme Fatales.
And we're
welcome you all here once again. Also a special welcome to Paul Scully, member for Wollongong, and to Councillor Anne Martin, who's here as well tonight. So welcome to you all as well. And I'd now like to introduce and invite Joe Holder and Catriona Moore, who curated this exhibition, to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Assembled Sister Boy. Welcome. Somebody said that International Women's Day is some sort of women's party thing. So here we are with the Fems having a party. Thank you, Fems. That was absolutely brilliant. But there's also a serious side. And here on the South Coast, we're also celebrating and commemorating 60,000 years of women's business. Here in the Illawarra. And in this short time frame, we're celebrating 80 years of International Women's Day, 81 actually. And what we found looking at the archives of the South Coast was this extraordinary history. We found the earliest by a year of International Women's Day.
In Australia.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
But it's something that's been hard fought for, and this is what this exhibition commemorates. It commemorates the hard work, the sleeves rolled up, the drums kettled or the tin pots kettled, the aprons ironed and embroidered, same as the Union of Australian Women is saying peace table. There's all sorts of extraordinary references to that transformation from, in a sense, subjugation to equal rights and almost equal participation. So as we all know, the fight is not yet over. We still have a way to go. And I'd really like to honour and pay tribute to the emerging feminists.
Yeah.
And that's really who this exhibition is dedicated to. It's Generation Next, which is why we call Future Feminist Archive. And I'd just like to, some of us are here today, and also acknowledge Eric Riddler from the Art Gallery of New South Wales Archive, who is sort of like our archive secretary. But the Illawarra really does have something to be proud of. It's actually quite unique in Australian history, and it's something to keep celebrating and keep honouring. What we have now is a special tribute. In one of the cabinets there's a poem called We're Marching Because. And Isabella Luna has invited two of her colleagues to respond to that call out made 40 years ago.
By Joyce Stevens, 1975. It was a manifesto that I certainly remember marching to in 1975. Very, very well. It's in that thing. Read it. It still resonates today.
So you
Oh, okay. Okay. We're going to have the responses to that echo 1975 challenge, if you like, or echo, is first of all we've got Curly Saunders with her wonderful spoken word poem, which we've also got actually taped up on the clothesline in the other room here, and then Isabella Luna, and then Lauren Elizabeth. But first of all, Curly. And then followed by
Nina Southall.
Yes. Then we've got a 79er, a marcher from 1979, her first inaugural International Women's Day marcher in the Gong, who will say a few words as well. So, but first of all, our slam poets. Thank you.
Good afternoon, good evening everybody. It's such a pleasure to be here. Hello to all the wonderful women in the room, the women who raised us. This is a bit of a tribute to the women that will raise ourselves. to our wonderful non-gender binary specific friends, and to every other gender in this room, thank you so much for coming. We are marching because Parliament doesn't employ our sisters as ministers, and sinister lovers take a wife for week to the grave. We are marching to save girls being married too young and unwillfully, and because the probability that we'll be sexually assaulted is 1 in 3. We are marching because though we have degrees in business and medicine, men are employed in our place. We are marching to erase a salary gap that has women paid the same rate as men a decade ago, marching to show solidarity with women locked up for not paying fines. Marching against swines that commit genital mutilation and for the advocation that this cease. We are marching for mothers. Thank you, and I'm so glad that all these ones are here today. We are marching for mothers who face regular discrimination. And for every resignation written during pregnancy, we are marching for every Me Too. Me Too. We are marching for the option to choose, and for every time we have felt less than goddess. We are here to bless the divine feminine within, to tout the success of the women that raised us, and to echo their tenacious feet on the streets of this town, resounding agreements that we won't back down until we are equal. Yes! Lauren Elizabeth, everybody!
This poem is about periods. If you'd like to leave, that's right. And as I wrote it for International Women's Day, I want to acknowledge that not all people who bleed are women and not all women bleed. We don't talk about blood in our house. We bleed quietly next to each other on the couch and say nothing. We hate the inconvenience of being ocean women confined to the dry living room, watching red blooms of ourselves cover the cushions. And if we swam in our silence, people would be alarmed at the wine-dark waters, lifeguards would stumble to the pink shore, and we would become myth, the mother and her daughters who conjured the sharks. I insert the word period into my brother's vocabulary like a tampon to make sure he grows into a good man. I call to him from the bathroom where the sun filters through opaque glass and I find pictures in the peeling paint where I spend so many hours because sometimes it's just easier to sit and drain than to stain another pair of undies. And I ask him to bring me a tampon from my room because some boys have never touched one. Like the bouncer at the club who thought I had drugs in my handbag. I don't want my brother to embarrass anyone. I want him to know how they feel between his fingers and his teeth. My mother prepares all of our meals for all of our lives and is rewarded with more blood during menopause than when they cut my sister out of her. She bleeds like an ocean full of sharks and daughters and sits on the loo not talking about it. My mother lets her hair go grey, and it is the loudest protest I have ever heard. My eardrums ache from the wail of it. My cat kills the budgerigar, pads down the hallway dripping blood from the bird onto the floorboards, and the blood looks familiar instead of horrific as we pry open his predatory jaws. When I tell my brother, he cries and becomes the warmest hug I have ever dissolved into. I whisper, my voice muffled by his shoulder, "Can you say period out loud?" And if the blood doesn't come, we are a desperate scramble of shame. Suddenly we want what we hate and still don't talk about it. I realize I can cling to friends like driftwood, that she will let me stand on her feet while she dances, will pump her blood into my drained cheeks until I laugh again, Maybe I tell the guy I like and he keeps liking me, says I have carried a story just like that. And my cousin has the first baby, turns her silent blood into a boy, turns the hot iron fear of a skipped period into joy and survives it. We don't talk about blood in our house. Don't bend over to see ourselves in the mirror. We put buckets beneath all of the drips and they are full. And we can't figure out how to celebrate because of all the sheets we snuck into the laundry as teenagers without telling anyone. But we are learning the relief of letting go of our secrets. The power in finding out that we carry the same pain as someone else. And now, arriving home again, we praise our mother. We collect lavender, pull up the floorboards and make a pillow fort of bedtime stories between the walls. We drape our bodies like a perfect exhibition over the back porch. We sew our voices into the hems of old dresses and we try them on.
Yes.
Thank you.
I would also like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we meet today, Wadi people of our country, whose sovereignty was never ceded. This is, was, and always will be Aboriginal land. This poem. I was asked to find poets to respond to We Are Marching Because, and I was having a conversation with one of the organisers, and we were saying how it's important to have a perspective after and during the Me Too movement of why we're marching still, and yet how even though it's a new perspective, a lot of the reasons we're still marching are the same. And that really struck me as an annoying. It was really, really frustrating and important that we respond to it. So I wrote this poem about it. So thank you all for being here and for listening to us, and yeah. Hera Lindsay Bird writes of the Library of Alexandria burning in alphabetical order. But I wonder, did they not start as they did with all holy places, with the soft flesh bodies, before burning vellum and papyri? And I am trying not to think of my own body, its pages littered with blue cursive and pale pink reminders of its own encounters with flame and steel. I look at myself in the mirror, and I am only a body, an ashen imitation reflecting back a woman, monster, body. I write a poem about Circe, the witch goddess of ancient Greece, banished to an island alone by her father for daring to be more than a quiet body, who turned Odysseus' men into pig bodies, who used her body to ensure Odysseus never used his against hers. And in that poem, I write, between a woman and a monster, between a goddess and a witch, a body of water, a fire to hum with. And I know, a woman is not a body, not a slab of flesh in a warm bed or on a cold metal table. A woman is not a body, is not a mouth, is not a tongue, to be bitten, chained by syntax and romantic metaphor. A woman is not a body, not tits, thighs, and ass. A woman is not a body, not a strawberry heart or cherry lip gloss, not bubblegum popping dream houses. A woman is not a temple, doors open wide, blood oozing down her holy steps. Scratch that. A woman is not a temple, period. She cannot be desecrated. A woman is not a rib. She is not a second or afterthought. A woman is not a metaphor, except that she is. And I am all of these things and none of these things, and I want to set them all on fire and salt the ashes flickering into breath. A woman is not a siren. A woman is not a body. A woman is not a body. A woman is not a body. Is not a body. Is not a body. I am not a body. I am not the product of his actions. I am not the product of their actions. I am not a body. I am my own. For what is a woman if not the home I make inside of myself? Between a woman and a monster is a body of water I call home. A woman is a forest, blooming, 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 pouring light, color, and oxygen back into the sky. A woman is a novel, rewriting herself forever and ever until she burns for a woman, or asking for it, or grab 'em by the out of their vocabularies forever. A woman is an idea, yes, but she is not your idea. A woman is a dictionary, the keeper of any word brave enough to speak itself into existence, which is to say a woman speaks herself into existence, which is to say she is all of these things and none of these things, and what you or they say has absolutely nothing to do with it. Shira Ehrlichman wrote, "I believe in courages more than courage. If courages was a bird, like a murder of crows, it would be a practice of courages. Here I hold out my practice of courages, and my hands will shake. And that is okay, because a woman is not a body, unless you mean a body of water, waves breaking, sweeping across the shore, kissing our feet, saying, yes, we may rest here, yes, we will march here until we have a new horizon, and the dawn breaking, sweeping across every body of water, and young girls and women will point and say, there. I am that light. I am that body of water, that fiery potential. I am that woman, monster, goddess, witch. I am my own." Thank you very much.
How many 79ers do we have here?
I have been walking around trying to find people who were on the march with me, and you can see me, I'm on the front of the march. I probably swanned in at the last minute, having done a class at the university, gone to a union meeting, fed my family dinner, and run along and found there was a place. There's nobody else there. There is my son behind me, who must have decided this was going to be fun, watching his mum. Mind you, he's still doing it. And it is one of the great shapes of my life that I'm described as Nick Southall's mother. Don't do it to my face. I am a feminist. And he is my son. I have spent a long time being somebody's something. I'm now old enough to be my own. Journey getting there. And I can say to the young feminists, you have got an awful lot of shit to put up with. Because it doesn't seem to me that it's getting any easier. One of the things I've been asking with a few people, can you put your hands up again? Who was here in 79 with me, apart from Nick? Yes, like that. Yes. Is that it? No, there were more. There were more, I told you. They died while you've been waiting. What did we ask for? Equal pay. I think we asked for free. Equal pay. How did we do on that one? Equal how hard can it be? Capitalism? It's simple. Or shall I do it Theresa May and say simples? You find out what a man is earning and you pay women the same. Now, one of the being at the university, how hard we fought for women's studies. A history course dealing with women. And we were told, well, there's no point in having a women's history course because women hadn't done anything. Genuinely, was the professor of history said. Fortunately, he's dead. So we can't contradict him. Would I like to? It was. And there were lots of other things we fought for. I do hope we still don't make the tea. We fought very hard for making the tea. I can remember that was my major battle of union movements. Not to be around when the tea made. But we don't have the tea. But we did get a women's course. And now the idea that women have been important, have made a contribution, and also that there are lots of ways to be a feminist. Now, I think that's the great thing about this exhibition, which I am finally going to open. I feel more like saying, that's it, it's all over, you can go home. The fat lady son, so you go. That we can be a feminist in different ways. There are also a lot of us who do not see feminism as the major site for battle. Now, this was always my problem. I never turned up to the meetings that organised marches like that because I was at union meetings. I think more of us should have spent time at union meetings and maybe have got equal pay. But we didn't. But there are lots of ways, and they don't feel themselves primarily feminist. They see themselves primarily as black, or handicapped, or working class. And those are the ones we must embrace and tell them that is fine, and there is room on their own. I mean, my concern is aged care, pardon me, but your areas of concern do alter as you get older. That is what we have to encourage. Being a feminist or not being a feminist in your own way. I am pretty pissed off. I've spent a lot of my life being pretty pissed off with people who organise the old come first because we know it's last. And we do have a lot to say. We didn't achieve much. And you think I'm a bit angry. You should have seen me as those.